Hello Taurus, welcome to your Virgo season 2023 reading. We're going to pull some cards. Well, I've already pulled some cards. This is my second attempt recording this. I do apologise, your cards are already out. So energies for Virgo season later on in the month. We'll be having a look at new beginnings specifically, endings and epiphanies specifically, in alignment with the dates of the new and full moon. So they'll be up on the channel around about the 31st of August and the 15th of September, so do look out for those. So with today's reading, we are literally just going to be getting an overview of Virgo season for you. So for you, Taurus, the sun transiting through Virgo is shining a spotlight on the area of your life that has to do with the things that you give birth to. Whether that's children, your creative self-expression, it can talk about your leisure, your hobbies, romance also. The fifth house is the house of fun, creativity, all that kind of thing. The areas, the house areas, the areas of life may resonate more strongly with your rising sign. So if you do know your rising sign and it's not Taurus, then feel free to check that out also. So Taurus, yeah, so the underlying energy for you this month, we've got the Tower in reverse. So the Tower is, it comes in as kind of sweeping changes, liberation from the status quo, freeing us out of things that have kind of got us stuck, things that are stifling us. Sometimes the Tower can be things that it's an energy, you know, we're trying to free ourselves. Other times, if we haven't made the changes that we need to make for our own growth, then we'll actually see the Tower manifesting at the hands of other people. Now, for you, the underlying energy this month, it's actually coming in reverse. So this does talk about it's kind of disaster aversion. This is, you know, kind of the Tower kind of comes in and like sort of pulls out the underpinnings of your life. So jobs, relationships, it can be quite an uncomfortable energy, particularly if this is being done at the hands of someone else, you know, if we haven't been brave enough to make the changes for ourselves. But with it coming in reverse, this talks about kind of a disaster aversion. So whatever the changes were, or the possible, you know, kind of disaster that was looming, it's being averted. And I am just reminded that the Tower for me relates to the planet Uranus, and Uranus has actually been going through your sign for a few years now. It takes 7 years to get through Taurus fully. We're about halfway through. So many of you with Taurian energy in your birth chart, there would have been an area of life where there has been, particularly if it's in the early degrees, or you may sense it looming, with Uranus going through your sign, that there's going to be a real kind of sense of the rumblings of things changing. So many of you have probably already experienced quite significant shifts. For others, you may still be working through that process. For you this month, it looks like whatever this disaster or this sort of massive change has been averted for you. And we do see your kind of view or your experience of this energy this month. We've got the Three of Wands reversed. The Three of Wands talks about feeling comfortable, feeling and kind of branching out, exploring, you know, being comfortable where we are and sort of surveying the horizon to see what else is out there. The Three of Wands reversed talks about more about a reversal, you know, kind of a going back home energy. Sometimes it can talk about, you know, it's a sort of a failure of an exploration. So I suspect that whatever this Tower energy was something, possibly a very sort of profound shift that was coming in, that was possible. But you have somehow, this has been averted, you've returned back home, it's stopped, this exploration, this sense of exploring, branching out, has kind of ground to a halt. And you've sort of reversed back, you know, you've kind of gone back to where is comfortable, or the path that you were on previously, whether this is a relationship, a job, whatever exploration, exploring other avenues, has kind of come to a halt, and it's averted this massive shift coming in for you. External energies around you, if there's another person involved in this is their energy. If this is just your environment, so if this is to do with work or, you know, an area of life, if this is just about you, Taurus, then the energy around you or the other person's energy, we've got the Six of Cups. This is kind of heart chakra, soulmate energy. So there's a real feeling here, but also with the Star, that where you are, this disaster aversion, going back to base, quitting whatever this exploration was, this possibility of kind of moving out and, you know, exploring other avenues. This sort of the stopping of doing that is feeling like it's the right thing to do, because around you we do have this Six of Cups energy. This is heart chakra, soulmate, long-term connection. Six of Cups, this can talk about nostalgia, things that we've been connected to either very deeply or for a very long time, possibly since childhood for some of us. Now, the incoming energy for you this month, Taurus, we've got the Fool, which usually talks about a big new beginning, big leap of faith, you know, sort of following your instincts, following your gut. It is coming in reversed, and this does talk about, you know, a failure to follow your instincts, not taking the opportunities at the right time, or, you know, not going for that new beginning. So I suspect that whatever this situation was, this tower could possibly have been leading to fairly dramatic changes, and there is a feeling now this month that you're better off where you were. The grass is not greener on the other side. You don't want to continue exploring whatever it was you're exploring. You're already on your right path. There is healing here to be had. I think the threat of this tower, whatever this disruption was enough to heal, or at least on a surface level, enough to heal whatever these difficulties were. In the past, there is this sense of apathy. The Four of Cups in the past, it can talk about, you know, there been opportunities and you know, happiness around us, but we're looking at it thinking, you know, I'm not sure. Having, you know, so if this is a relationship or something that's sort of in front of you, sort of looking at it and thinking, I'm really not sure that I want this. I'm not sure that I want to. There's a real sense of, you know, kind of emotional malaise with it. But I feel that, so whatever this thing is, where there was this apathy, not seeing the value in what was being presented to you, or the things that were around you, there is now a reversal of that. The grass isn't greener. You've possibly done a bit of an exploration, or another person has done a bit of an exploration and come back and said, no, it's not great out there, let's stay where we are. And so with this incoming energy, if there was a sense of this, you know, massive breakdown, this massive shift, this new beginning, it's not going to happen. Which I think, looking at this, is something that you're happy about. However, I do feel, we'll get to this King of Pentacles in a moment. This is the obstacle. We've got the King of Pentacles. Now, it is a court card, so it could be a person. It does actually relate directly to Taurus, so it could also be you. But the King of Pentacles talks about feeling abundant, mastery, resources. And with Taurus, I mean, Taurus energy is the long-term builder of resources, long-term builder of the status quo. So it could be possibly, excuse me, that this tower has been averted, this change, this exploration has been stopped purely for resource, material considerations. Resources can be time, love, money, effort, energy, but there's a sense of where you are having more than, you know, what's outside. There is a reliance here. So this, I mean, sometimes, you know, this can be, I'm not saying that that's the case with you, but it can be, you know, kind of putting love above money, or staying in a situation because it's very comfortable materially, whereas really emotionally or for growth purposes, you know, you might be better on, you know, kind of moving out for that. I mean, obviously each to your own, and obviously you need to decide, but 9 times out of 10, well, always actually 10 times out of 10, this Tower energy, it does come in to break us out of things that are stifling us. So if this situation, if this possibility of a real sort of destabilization in the environment has actually prompted a deep reconsideration and a reshuffling and a lot of changes, epiphanies, you know, proper full-on epiphanies that have led to this situation being returned to and not going out on this sort of leap of faith, then great. But if you've only done it for a sense of comfort or security, then you may well find that there may be issues further down the line, the options or the possibilities may be, you know, may then well be taken outside of your hand, because it could be for some of you, this is actually a change or a liberation that actually needs to happen. And I'm saying that because the outcome here, we do have the Judgment card. The Judgment card talks about answering the call. This is the second to last major arcana. This does talk about, you know, kind of understanding karmic lessons, closing off cycles, success and achievement, but it's coming in reversed. And this does talk to me about failing to answer the call because you don't know how to, or you're frightened of the consequences. And also with this Fool in reverse, this can talk about a failure to follow the instincts, a failure to follow what is true and what is right for you. So we'll pull you some clarifiers, Taurus, but you know, think long and hard. Ensure that you know, the decision to return, the decision to stay, the decision to feel that this, you know, this situation is perfect for you, it is your path forward. Just ensure that you're, you know, making the choices from, you know, from the right, that you are getting onto the right path, and that you're not just relying on resources, or, you know, your sense of security, which I know totally goes against the Taurus, you know, that's your skill building long-term stability. So it might be quite a difficult ask, and I would imagine that this Tower energy is so different to your own natural energy. I can imagine the last few years have been really uncomfortable for you. Right, okay, let's get you some clarifiers. What should we clarify for you? Shall we clarify? Let's clarify this King of Pentacles to see if we can get a better idea of what this obstacle is. We'll do the King of Pentacles, which is the obstacle, and the Judgment in reverse, which is the outcome. So can we have a look at this King of Pentacles, the obstacle, please? This King of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles talks about, it can be the work card. It can talk about meaningful work. It can talk about mastery. But although we're talking about meaningful work, it can talk about finding meaning in things. And with the 5th house, this is kind of creative expression. These are the sort of the things that you give birth to, as I was saying. There is, you know, I mean, there is a sense of mastery here, a sense of abundance, success, feeling successful. Is it that by, you know, kind of making these changes, you would feel less successful, or, you know, that there's less meaning here for you? Or it could be for some of you, possibly. I mean, if this King of Pentacles is somebody that you work with, or your resources, your sense of mastery somehow is related to your job, your income, your earning capacity, then absolutely I can see why, you know, this, if this is a work thing for you, it could be that there's a, you know, in the past there's like a sense of apathy, you know, I'm not really feeling this. Then going out, having a look around, looking at other opportunities, and then seeing that, you know, there's either not the position of responsibility, or not the income, or there isn't the type of job or the level of you know, kind of management available. So you're thinking, right, okay, I'm just gonna stay where I am. And that, I feel that this Tower reverse, this aversion, it is somehow by trying to stop the wheels falling off, what you're actually doing is you're actually stopping something that really does need to happen. The Judgment talks about, you know, understanding something. There's only one thing left to do, and it has to be done. You know, there's only one natural process, one natural step forward. There's only one more thing left to do. There's no choice. There's an understanding of that. With it reversed, there's understanding it, but either being scared of doing it or not knowing how to. Judgment reversed. Let's have a clarify for that. Page of Wands. Okay. Underlying energy, 8 of Wands. Reversed. Oh. Okay. The Page of Wands talks about energetic, you know, energetic engagement. With the Page of Wands, there is a sense of not wanting to commit fully to something, wanting something, but not wanting to be bound tightly by it, wanting to keep it loose. So if this is like a job, this could be, I don't know, like self-employment or a minimum contract, that would probably something really instinctive that you want to do, something that would be great for you, but maybe it may impact your status, or it may impact your earning capacity, or your sense of meaningful work. And I feel it's that, because with the Page of Wands, there isn't a lot of commitment here. So it could be that what it is that you're really pursuing, there's no guarantee with it. There's no guarantee with what it is that really does need to happen next. There's no cast iron guarantee. There's only minimum commitment here, and that is then giving you a question about how to pursue it, or a fear of pursuing it, because the obstacle here is all about status, income, earning, work, meaningfulness. So if you're in a situation, I mean, it does look like, while there's a little bit of apathy, you know, there is some contentment there. This new thing, you know, there's a sense of a lack of commitment, you know, not saying, right, okay, you're definitely going to be the boss, or I'm definitely going to be your partner, or this is definitely going to be meaningful. There's no guarantee with it. And I think it's that that's stopping you from pushing through. Taurus. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, obviously it's, you know, it's up to you. But yeah, I think whatever this disaster is, there is definitely a sense of you know, averting disaster, averting a massive disruption, not taking this big leap of faith, not kind of moving on. So this feels very much like staying put, returning back to something, an earlier version, something maybe that you've been attached to for a long time, that you've been involved with quite deeply. But I question here the reason, you know, why it is that you're not. This to me feels like the obstacle here, I think maybe the reason for this choice, but certainly the obstacle to this sense of healing and being on your path is this King of Pentacles, whether this is a person or a sense of status or a sense of your own success, meaningful work, I feel is what's sort of hedging your bets. And I think that this lack of commitment, presumably from the outside, or an inability to commit energetically, is bringing in some confusion that's stopping you from committing to this new beginning that's really going to end up, you know, really kind of disrupt the status quo for you. Right, I'm going to leave that there for you. As I say, new beginnings, endings and answers, 31st of August and the 15th of September. I hope you had value from today's reading. If so, please do give us a thumbs up. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Cheers, Taurus.